Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, I too want to start my remarks this afternoon by congratulating the PMI and Mrs. Mariam Rajavi, and we're very glad indeed that it had eventually now been agreed by the French that the PMI is not terrorist and never was terrorist, and I think that's a very good victory to the PMI. Mrs. Rajavi said that the order issued by the French judiciary nullified and devastated a decade-long investment and disinformation campaign by the clerical regime against the resistance. I completely agree with her that the terror label against the PMI by any power is a political label and stems from a policy of appeasement of the clerical theocracy. I have a lot of admiration for Madam Rajavi in leading such a resistance against the fundamentalist dictatorship. The group of dissidents in Ashraf is an inspiration to millions in Iran who seek freedom and democracy. One of the reasons why I first became involved with our parliamentary committee was that I was concerned about the whole issue of women's rights. And I want particularly to highlight the plight of the brave 1,000 women in Camp Ashraf. They deserve our admiration and support. Several of these young women's last moments were captured on camera as they resisted peacefully and without arms, simply chanting that God is great, aimed at the callous armed thugs. The Iraqi leadership quite clearly takes its cue entirely from the dictatorship in Iran. I call on our government, the United States government, the European Union, to ensure that the United Nations immediately assumes responsibility for the protection of Camp Ashraf, and that the Security Council adopts a resolution on Ashraf's protection. I further call for the appointment of a United Nations Security Council representative to conduct a full, impartial, transparent and independent inquiry into the grave crime committed on the 8th of April. I, like other colleagues from both Houses of Parliament, demand an end to the siege on Ashraf, especially the inhumane medical blockade, which we understand is also taking place. This is an appalling, an absolutely appalling humanitarian situation that can no longer go on like this, and it is time for action to be taken now. And I and my other parliamentary colleagues give you our assurances that we will do everything in our power to bring this constantly to the attention of our government, and every opportunity that we get for pressing this point on our government we will take. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman and colleagues, I decided that I would put off the person who's come to see me and come over here, and I didn't do that with any sort of gesture of bravado. It's just that this issue that has plagued us for so long has got to be brought to an end of suffering of the people in Camp Ashraf. When we met at a news conference called on the 19th of April, we met, and the picture of a young lady amongst those over there who I had the pleasure of knowing through a telephone link with Camp Ashraf some years ago. That poor girl at the age of 19 has been slaughtered by these maniacs who raided the camp and caused such death and destruction in those hours that followed the breaking down of the